This video is going to focus on sections of the periodic table. We're going to start with alkali metals. Those are your group 1 metals. They're the most reactive ones that you'll find on the periodic table. Super soft, they can be easily cut with a knife. They need to be stored under kerosene or oil so they don't react with the air. They do react super well with water and acids. They'll produce hydrogen gases and basic solutions along with a lot of heat. They lose one valence electron to achieve their stability. That's why they're so reactive. They'll form +1 cations, so they can have a full valence shell of electrons. Our next group are the alkaline earth metals. They are very similar to the alkaline metals. They are the group 2 metals. They are not as reactive as the alkali metals, and they have to lose 2 valence electrons to be stable, and so they form +2 cations. Next, we're going to talk about the transition metals. For the most part, the transition metals are going to be able to form colorful solutions. They will form those colorful solutions if they can be if the metals can form multiple ions. So like zinc won't be able to do that, silver won't be able to do that. But the ones that you're seeing down there, nickel, green, iron, the orangish yellow, the blue copper, and I believe that dark red is, or almost purple, is like a cobalt. Those are all metals that can form multiple cations because they have multiple stable configurations with their outermost electrons as well as their whatever electrons they have in their d sublevel. Of the transition metals, they are all solids except for mercury. Mercury will be a liquid at room temperature. These are the metals that are used in jewelry, silverware, and coins. They aren't as reactive as your alkali and alkaline earth metals, so they are definitely safer for us to use for those items that would be used more often and that we would not want to have to replace so frequently. We're going to move on from our transition metals to our halogens. Halogens are all the way over on the nonmetal side of the periodic table. Remember, the metals make up over 2/3 of your periodic table. And then there's that stairwell that separates the metals from the nonmetals, and you have your metalloids that basically fall along the edges of the stairwell. The halogens are right up next to the noble gases. They are the most reactive group of nonmetals on the periodic table. In their pure state, they are diatomic. It is the one group that has elements that are in solid, liquid, and vapor forms at room temperature. And because they are one shy of the noble gases, it is actually easier for them to gain electrons, which is why they make -1 ions to be as stable as they can be. The noble gases have a filled valence shell. They are in group 18 on the periodic table, and so they are our least reactive nonmetals, or our least reactive elements in general. Unless you pair them with a super electronegative element, they are not going to want to react. They are monatomic, they are colorless, they are odorless, and they are tasteless.